recently on MovieGames.com, I dropped the predictions for Best Original and Best Adapted Screenplay for the Oscars next year. So I'm going to run through them. I'm going to talk about them a little bit. So for Original Screenplay, now do keep in mind here that these are early predictions. I don't want people to, message me in January and be like, "Oh, you really thought this one was getting nominated? It's not trending very well." Like, yes, I know. I will update these pages as I go. So do not come back to me and show me that I said this or that. I'm talking about at this stage. On the 18th of September, this is what I thought. Now, we get new information. Award precursors show a lot of what's trending towards the Oscars and all that kind of stuff. So this is all the information that I'm working with now. These are what I think will be nominated in the Oscars. That's what I'm doing right now. When we get new information, I'll take that new information in, and then I will provide an update if there is a relevant update to add. So just keep that in mind. Things can change, and they can change very fast, very dramatically for the Oscars. But I'm just really excited for these Oscars. They're very stacked. Both original and adapted screenplay are stacked. I know I said before that adapted is more stacked, and we'll see why. But for original, best original screenplay. So my predictions for who will be nominated is Past Lives, which is penned by Celine Song. The Holdovers, written by David Hemmingson. Anatomy of a Fall, written by Arthur Harari and Justine Triet. May December, which is written by Sammy Birch and Alex Mechanic. And the last spot, Barbie, written by Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach. So that's who I think will be nominated. Now, there are a lot of contenders still around that can actually absolutely make a play. So the other dark horse contenders in there is Maestro, which is written by Bradley Cooper and Josh Singer. Saltburn, written by Emerald Fennell. Air, written by Alex Convery. Rustin, written by Julian Bress and Dustin Lance Black. And finally, Asteroid City, which is written by Wes Anderson and Roman Coppola. Now, you look at this. I do believe the ones that I think we get nominated at this stage will genuinely get nominated. As for these dark horse ones, Asteroid City, I've noted Asteroid City. It's because Wes Anderson has 3 screenplay nominations for his entire filmography, and he's yet to pick up a win. He is an Academy darling. I think the Academy really do like him, his style and his films. I think if Asteroid City is going to pop at the Oscars, it's going to be for this one. Rustin, getting very well reception right now. It covers quite a prominent figure and just a really inspirational, wholesome kind of a story. Ear, Ear is one where I think it could go either way. I don't know how much presence it will take, but it was really well received. We got to see where the momentum carries it, but I think its screenplay one can be really strong there. I think Air is going to have to rely on, powerful monologues throughout the film that are really sharply written. Now, these two other ones, Saltburn and Maestro, I think they stand the best chance of, having an upset in terms of who I think will be nominated. Saltburn, we saw the rating for it was actually rotten. Yeah, it was rotten when the reviews first dropped, and it has actually improved. It's at 82% now, so it's going up quite a lot. And it's at 8.5 out of 10 average rating. That's very high. So there's some weird disparity going on with the reviews, and I think the critics are really loving it. Are really, really loving it. I worded that one weirdly, but the critics that like it love it. That's why the average rating is so high. Maestro is also getting really great reviews as well. But these two don't. With Maestro, it is based on real people. And the Academy in the original screenplay category, they prefer, all these original characters and ideas and stories and stuff like that. So I think they'll give it won't stand much of a chance for a win. but the nomination is definitely there if the movie's getting a ton of momentum. I think Past Lives is the one that's going to be the one to beat for this, honestly. For those that have seen it, it's beautiful, it's human, it's raw. It deals with, it has, it deals with real human emotions. And a lot of movies these days, the emotional sides of them they're very manufactured. They're very designed to evoke emotion from you, basically manipulating your emotions. And that's all well and good. At times, obviously, it depends on how it's done, but it is good when they do that because we want an emotional experience with our films. But Past Lives does it such an organic way, and it never feels forced in what it's doing. It's just it just does it very well. The other ones that I think could play strongly is The Holdovers. That one feels almost like Manchester of the Sea-esque, if you know what I mean. The really strong screenplay and the really strong performances. That's where it's going to have its big presence at the Oscars. Obviously, something like May, December, we got to see where the momentum is. But as far as screenplay goes, I think it's my favorite screenplay of the year so far. I think it's exceptionally well written. Barbie is the kind of, dark horse. I could feel that being not making the nominations at all, and I could see it winning. It's a very weird one and tough one to judge. I think we're gonna have to rely on how the Academy view it in terms of it's not original enough, so I'm not going to vote for it, kind of thing. But yeah, those are the predicted nominations at this time. Now, the adapted ones. So, the adapted ones. Obviously, Barbie's not here anymore, and I had initially written this article with Barbie being in the adapted version. So that was quite disappointing. But this category is just stacked, honestly. So for my predicted nominations at this time, I got Oppenheimer by Christopher Nolan, Poor Things, written by Tony Namara, All of Us Strangers by Andrew Haig, Killers of the Flower Moon by Eric Roth and Martin Scorsese, and The Zone of Interest by Jonathan Glazer. Now, we look at the other contenders that we need to watch for this category as well, because while it's stacked in that top 5 scenes are almost a lock at this point, there are some that could really sneak in here. So the other ones to look out for: Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. That's written by Phil Lord, Christopher Miller, and Dave Callahan. The Color Purple by Marcus Gardley. Priscilla by Sofia Coppola. The Killer by Andrew Kevin Walker. And Origin by Ava DuVernay. So yeah, that's where we're sitting at right now. Now, we look at our top 5 contenders there, the ones that are predicted to be nominated. Oppenheimer, I think we can all safely say that. We can all agree here on this podcast that Oppenheimer will get the nomination and will get the win for this. Oh, no, sorry. Ahead of myself there. We'll get the nomination. I don't know about the win, but I think it stands a good chance of getting the win as well. Now, its main competition, I would say, is Poor Things and Killers of the Flower Moon. Poor Things is surprising. I did not think it would be this well received, and I didn't think it would be as big of a player as it is at the Oscars, because it's looking to be pretty big. So this movie has 50 reviews right now. It's sitting at 98%, and the average rating is 9.3, which is it's really, really high. So it is based on a 1992 novel, and the concept allows for a lot of big ideas and themes to come into it. And I think that's really what a lot of the reception coming from those reviews is saying. So Poor Things stands a good chance at even taking the win. I know it will get nominated, but I think it may take the win as well. But then it's also got Killers of the Flower Moon. It's Martin Scorsese. Eric Roth has done some great stuff in the past. So I think it's just going to be really strong. You know, Scorsese himself, he has 2 previous Oscar nominations in writing, and it's generated a lot of buzz already. So yeah, now I think a dark horse to get a win, and that's right, I mean this time, a win, is The Zone of Interest. I think this one's slowly starting to build up its buzz, and not many people have heard of it until these last couple of weeks. But The Zone of Interest is, from what I've heard, this sounds amazing, like genuinely really good. So that movie's at 94%. It has 72 reviews, and it's sitting at a 9 average rating. So sure, it's not as high as Poor Things, but it is doing really well. And when I look at what the film's about, I can see the potential in here. So I've heard the film's very thought-provoking. As the film, it navigates the perspective of concentration commander Rudolf Hoss, and he's the commander of the biggest concentration camp during World War II. And it's about him and his wife trying to achieve the dream life with his family in their home and garden, which is next to the concentration camp. So it's really focusing on that kind of perspective of it. Something we haven't really quite seen too much of in film. But with Jonathan Glazer's film here, it's going to be tackling quite delicate themes. And if the script can challenge us without glorifying it, it does make it kind of a dark horse. It makes it a true a true dark horse contender where it could come out and get the win. If it can get the momentum that previous films in the past have, I think this could be the one to really take it away. And I speak more broadly about this now, about the Zone of Interest. I'm not just applying it to Adapted Screenplay here. I'm talking more broadly. I think in terms of the overall film, if it can get the right momentum, I think it could be a Best Picture potential winner there. But yeah, we're gonna do more of these Oscar predictions on here. I am still checking it off through our articles on moviegames.com. Be sure to check them out. Jump on the website every few days or so. We always have new content dropping off down there. But yeah, we'll also cover it here on the podcast. I can talk a little bit more in depth, and I can provide more of a rationale and discussion about it with you guys. So yeah, I want to know if you guys agree with it. It's looking to be a very interesting year. I'm very, very excited to see exactly how it turns out and which films are really the big players for this year.